Good evening, all. I hope I'm audible to. I'm audible. Yes. Welcome to third day's Aponics Technologies free foundation course. So in our yesterday session, we completed with all the operators, all the types of operators, and today we'll be moving to our data types. So Python has multiple data types like numbers, strings, lists, sets, tuples, and the dictionaries. So we'll see now how to use this, data types today. So firstly, we'll start from the very basic, that is numbers. So in a real world or in our daily life, we are using so many different types of numbers, like positive numbers, negative numbers, even numbers, prime numbers, the decimal numbers like fractions, Roman numbers. We have so many types, but what are the types of numbers can be used in Python? So we can use only the three types of numbers. Those three types are float, int, and the complex. Int, it is for whole numbers, float is for decimal values, and the complex is to perform some mathematical operations. Especially it is for algorithms. I'm audible, right? I'm audible, right? No, Rakshit, you will not get it today because tomorrow also we will have a session. Yes, screen is blank because I have not written anything. Yeah. Now, we'll take three variables. A is equal to, we'll take the small number, 7, B is equal to 3. Now, A is equal to 7 and B is equal to 3. C is equal to 12 point some digits. D is equal to 2 plus 6J. See, now this A and B are the two variables which are, both the variables are holding integer values, and the C is another variable which has a float number, that means the decimal value, and the D is also one of the variable which is holding the complex number here. So if you are not aware of all this, we have a predefined function for that. By using that, we can cross check also. So then what is that? What is the name of that predefined function? That predefined function is type. You can say it is the class int. Type of C, it is class float. The type of D, it is giving class complex. See, int, float, and the complex. See, all the data types are like int, float, complex, strings, lists, tuples. All types are the class objects. That is what we are giving. We are getting an output here, that class. Those are class objects. And the type is the predefined functions where we are using to find out which type of data type we have taken or we have defined it. Okay. Yeah. So this, integer, it is for whole numbers. C is for C is representing a float, and the D is representing a complex. See, in a D, in a complex numbers, we can see it's a real and the imaginary part. 2 plus a 6J. It is a real and the imaginary part. Now, without real, can we take any imaginary part? Can we take only the imaginary part? Yes, that is possible. You can write 12J. That is possible. Python will consider that as a complex number. Okay. So in this case, in this example, I have taken only the positive numbers. So that doesn't mean that we should take only the positive numbers. The numbers means we are not only using positive numbers, we'll be using even the negative numbers, so that we can take even the negative numbers as well. See, W is equal to minus 76 minus 34J. Type of W, that is complex. Okay, so this is what all about the numbers. The next one will move to a string. I think in a first day session, not in a first day, I think in yesterday's session we used a string, especially in the membership operator concept. We'll see now how to use a string, and will study in detail. S is equal to phonics. Now type of yes is a string. str is nothing but it is a string. str is nothing but it is a string. Now the first thing, the strings are ordered in nature. The way how we write, it will display the elements or the characters in the same way. So here in the yes, we can see the multiple characters. So the string is nothing but it's a sequence of characters, or the group of characters, or the set of characters. Okay. And one more thing, characters means you no need to take only the alphabets, can be anything. For example, R is equal to, I've taken uppercase 67 space hash @ operators braces. See now, type of R, even this is also a string. Okay, so string means you no need to take only the alphabets, can be taken anything, but it should be inside the single quotes, or we can write it inside the double quotes as well. So P is equal to, now this is also a string. P is equal to phonics, I have written inside the double quotes. Now print of P, it is giving us the same output. So print is again a predefined function where we are using to display an output. Okay. The next one, the strings are index based in nature. So what is the meaning of an index based? Predefined means it is the built-in. User defined means, you know, the as a user what we define. That means any function can be defined by ourselves, but that there is a way to define, because user defined function has its own syntax. The built-in means, or the predefined, it is already there. That means that it is the existed one, so that we can use it directly. Okay, so the strings are index based in nature. That means the first element I will consider yes. So it is phonics. The very first element, that is A, which will store in the 0 index. So it is like 0 to n, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This I is a 5 and this is a 6. So you can see in phonics total 7 letters. 7 letters. That means which will store from 0 to 6. In terms of indexes. Index, the whole one index, and the individual one, it is the index. Now yes of 0, see it is giving us A. Okay, see here in this case I used only the positive indexing. The negative indexing is also possible in Python. Then how we can take the negative indexing values? So negative index means what? the last element that is x, which will store in -1. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and the -7. It is not like left to right only. It is while reading, we are reading from left to right only, not from right to left. But while calculating the negative indexes, we are starting from right to left. Okay, that is always from smaller to bigger number. It is same in both the positive indexing as well as in the negative indexing concepts. So here s of -1, you can see the last element, you can see the difference here, s of 6, that is the positive indexing one. Here it is s of -1, that is the negative indexing one. Now s of -3, okay. The next one we can calculate. If the string means you no need to take only the one word, you can write the sentence as well. So in one sentence we'll be having multiple letters or multiple characters, and those characters can be calculated here. But how we can calculate? By using a predefined function called len. So len of s. See, while calculating the index, we should start from 0, but while calculating the length, we cannot give it. Okay, we cannot start from 0, it should be from 1. Yes, Python is one of the case-sensitive programming language. Okay, now, now slicing also can be done here. But what is the meaning of a slicing? The slicing is nothing but it is the it is like making a small string when we have a string. So in this case, yes, we have a string. Now we can easily make a small string. So how? So for that, we should have the start index and the end index terms. So here, the start index I'm taking 0, and the end index it is 4. And this colon, the full colon, is representing a slice operator, that is representing a slice operator. Okay, so 0 to 4. So here we have, this is what aponics. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should display only the 4 elements for us, because end minus start, 4 minus 0 is 4. So it should give only the 4 elements for us. And so it should give us APPO. Okay, right? So you can use the logic, that is end minus start, that is a 4 minus 0 is 4. So you will get an idea that what should be the count of the elements, or how much elements has to be displayed. Okay, the next one, it is possible even with the negative indexing also, but negative indexing it is like -5 or -6 to -1. So it should not be -1 to -6, because you should always write smaller number first. That means smaller number should be at the start index and the bigger number in place of the end index. Okay, so here -6 to -1. So 6 minus 1, it is 5. So 5 elements has to be displayed. Yes, we got even only the 5 characters or the 5 items. Okay, so if you write -1 to -6, then what output will get it here? You will get an empty string, because that is not possible. And there is another way to slice or split the characters here. So that is, we can add one more term, that is a step index, s of 0 to 7 of 2. That means 0 to 7 you should calculate, that is the whole string it will take, because the length of the string is 7. That means it is from 0 to 6. Okay, next, in place of step index you can see 2. So it will not skip the 2 elements directly. So how it works? So the step index, it should be always with the -1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So it will skip the elements in between. The first element is always A, then it will skip this P, then P will be displayed, it will skip O, then this N will be displayed, I it will be skipped, then X will be displayed. So now you can see the same output A, P, N, X. The same concept we can use it even in the even with the help of negative indexing. Yeah. Okay. The next one. We'll move to a list concept. The list is again it's another data type. So list is nothing but it is a collection of elements of multiple data types. So multiple data types means what? You can use either the numbers or the strings. You can take only the numbers or only the strings, or you can take even the combinations of numbers and strings together. But to define a list, we should always take, or you should always consider a square braces. So how you can square brace should be there. So how you can write it here? So it is L is equal to square braces. So inside this multiple elements can be written. So no need to be with the same data type. We can take multiple data types here. Okay, now you can cross check L is belongs to which data type. So this L is belongs to list data type. Okay, so now this list you can write even like this also. See, even this is also a list. I have taken the combination here. You can see the integers, float, strings, right? This is also a list data type. Next, these lists are again the ordered in natured one. So what is the meaning of that? The way how we have written here, it will store the elements in the same order. Okay, the elements will not be shuffled, or it will not display in the some other order. Now here also we can find out the index. So index based means, just remember the first element which will store in the 0 index and the last element will be stored in the -1. That means 0 to n is for positive indexing, -1 to -n plus 1 it is for positive indexing. Sorry, negative indexing. Okay, so now if it is W of 2, it will give us 7.765 because this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So W of 6, what output will get here now? That is 45. So W of -5, what output will get here now? Any idea or any answer? So W of -5, it should give us, yes, very good Tanmay, Reshma, that is 4.098. Okay. So here also the slicing is possible. When you have a list, we can make a small list here with the same formula, start index and the end index. Okay. So 6 minus 0, it is 6. So you can see the 6 elements here. Okay. W of minus 8 to minus 2. What output will get here now? 1 to 45, right? Sorry, it's not 1 to 45. 8 minus 2 is a 6. So 1 to, yes. Yes. Now, here also we can use the predefined function W, length, to calculate the length of the given string. But here we can see one thing, that is, I forgot to tell you, s is equal to upon x. So now s of 3, what is the value of s of 3 here? What is the value of s of 3? O, right? Now I don't want O here. I'm going to initialize a new value in place of this third index, that is P, or we will not go with P, T. See, here we got an error. String object does not support item assignment. That means the strings are immutable in nature. Once it is declared, we cannot change the value of it. It remains the constant, okay? But in string, you can refer either L or W. L of 3, that is 9. I don't want 9 in my list now, so I will be going to change it. So I'm going to assign a new value to the third index, that is 178. So now you can see we didn't get any error here. So the value, it was 9 and now it is 178. That means I assigned a new value to the third index and the new value is replaced here. Okay. That means the lists are mutable in nature. That means the lists are mutable in nature and the strings are immutable in nature. String values cannot be changed once it is declared, but the lists can be, values can be changed even after execution of the code. Is this clear? Yeah. The next one, it is a tuple. So tuples or tuple, you can call it as a tuple or tuple. So that is, it is also a collection of elements of multiple data types. Here again we have an option, like you can take either only the numbers or the strings, or you can take the combinations of numbers and strings together. Okay. So how you can define a tuple here? So how Python will recognize that it is a tuple? So to define a tuple, you have to take a parenthesis or the simple braces. So inside this, you can write n number of elements. So this is type is a function just to cross check whether it is belongs to tuple data type or not. Yes, it is belongs to a tuple data type. Okay, I have taken it here. Okay, now this is also the index based one, so you can easily calculate the index here. So now any guesses here what output will get? T of, I have not written anything here in the start index and in the end index. So what output will get? No, don't know. It prints all. Yes, it will give us all the elements. The whole thing will be printed. Correct? Yes, it has printed here. Okay. The length function is as usual we are using, but this is also one of the immutable one. So now you cannot change the value here. T of 2 is equal to 200,000. See, we are getting an error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. So this is not possible here in Python. Okay, that's not possible. We cannot do that. So it is immutable in nature. Next, we have one more data. We have two more data types: sets and dictionaries. So we'll see now the text. How to use a set. Set is it is not exactly same like the set list or the tuple data type. It is completely different than those two data types. Like sets are like a collection of unique elements. That means we cannot take any duplicate elements. See, in the string we used a duplicate character, it worked for us. In a tuple and the lists also you can take the duplicate elements, but in a set you cannot take any duplicate element. Here elements should be the unique, and we cannot find out the any index here, and it will not give us the output in the same order. And to define a set we have to use the curly braces or the flower braces. So here a is equal to, see, now you cannot tell the exact order here. So here 196G is 9.754, 2.7 and the 17 are there. So here 167 917 9.754G 2.7, it is not in the order at all. So this is sets are unordered in nature, and you cannot calculate the index here. See, it is giving us an error. Set object is not subscriptable. When there is an index, then you can easily calculate. You can make a small set here. That is not possible here. And duplicate elements cannot be taken here. So it won't work. If there is a duplicate element, it will consider that is a single that is a single element. It will not consider it as a two elements. Okay. So this is what about the set. So set will not support this. And now this is the list. So now you can make a list. We can take a list inside the list. That is possible. D is equal to, see, I will take one more list here. That is possible. But we'll take a set inside the set. You will get an error, unhashable type set. So set inside the set is not possible, but list inside the list is possible. The nested lists are always possible to take. Okay. The next one, the last one, but not the least one, that is a dictionary. So in dictionary, again, we are using the key value pairs. The way of defining it is the same as like a set. Here we are using the curly braces only. So D is equal to key value, key value, key value, So here I have taken the combinations string, integers, string with integer value, integer key, and the string value. So this is the possible. This is what we are considering as a dictionary. But the thing is here, the keys should be unique. You cannot take any duplicate keys here, but values can be duplicate here. Okay. But in the set concept, you cannot take any duplicate values. There we are using only the values, but here we are using the key value pairs here. So values can be duplicate, but keys should not be duplicate here. Okay. Yes, and this is one of the ordered one, but it has no index. If you write d of 2, it will give you an error, that is the key error, because we don't have a key which is called 2. So it is the ordered one, but it has no indexes. So in sets and dictionaries, we cannot find out any indexes. That is not possible. Okay, but we can get the value by using a key. See, that is 8798. If it is the index based one, when you write d of 1, it should give this key value pair, right? The second key value pair, that means 0 1, but it has no index, so it will not give us that. So it is, we have written key here and we got the value here. Now you want to display the one by one like key value pairs. So how we can do that? You can use a for loop here. So for variable in sequence, any variable name can be taken. In we studied in yesterday session, that is membership operator. The sequence is D. I have already taken. Now print. Can you see here? We got only the keys, but we didn't get the values here. Now in this case, we got only the values, but if you want to get key value pairs together, then what you can do? In place of this, values is the built-in function, okay? Dot, you can use a built-in function or the predefined function called items. Now you can see the tuple of elements here. So key value, key value, key value, key value pairs. Okay, so for K is the variable, any variable name can be taken, but it should be an identifier. In and for are the two keywords. In is like existence. D dot items. So we want to display the output in the form of key value pairs. That is what we have taken items here. And print is a statement which should give us the output. And this is the colon. That is what we are calling it as the indentation. And after this colon, I have not immediately written this print. Okay, there should be a one tab space, and you should write this print, and this for loop body should not be an empty. You should write at least one statement. That is what the statement I have written it here. Okay. Yeah, any queries or any doubts you guys have here in this today's session? So this is what all about the data types. Any queries, any questions? No doubts? Yes, Pranati, good. Okay. This is the for loop I have taken for variable in sequence. And so the sequence, whatever data we have in this sequence, it should be transferred to the variable K, and this variable which will hold all the values. Values means key value pairs. Okay. And that is what we have written print of K. Here we got key value pairs, Deepika. Yes. Any other query? Okay. Thank you. Hope you all have cleared with all these concepts.